Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a review of a foundation. So I picked up the Maybelline. This is the Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. So this used to be out, I guess, several years ago, and then they discontinued it, which I honestly didn't even know that. I don't think I've ever tried this before. So yeah, we're gonna give this a whirl. I obviously have no makeup on right now. You can see my dark circles. Sometimes I get some, redness and uneven skin tone. I washed my face. I put moisturizer on under my eyes and on my face, and that is all that I have on right now. Don't mind my wet hair. My roots were just dyed, so that's why it's wet. So what time is it? 11:07, guys. So we're gonna put this on. I'm gonna wear it for as long as I can today. I'm gonna keep it on all day. Obviously it's not gonna be on for 24 hours, but I'm gonna try and get like at least 10 hours out of it. So basically the claims on this, on the back, say full coverage foundation, up to 24-hour wear, seamless matte finish, breathable and comfortable, fade and transfer resistant, oil-free, doesn't clog pores, dermatologist tested. So I'm really excited to try this. I love the Maybelline. They're matte and poreless. I use this one pretty often, and I think that's a relatively decent drugstore foundation. I like this one. I think the bottle is cute for drugstore. It's a sleek package with the white lid. You pull the... Oh, there's stuff on there. But you pull the lid off, and it has a pump, which I love. So the price difference, this at CVS where I live in New York was $12 and some change, whereas this in the CVS was $7 and some change. So this one's obviously more expensive, but there is a pump, so that's gonna raise the price. And yeah, so let's see how it works. I use sponges, so I'm gonna apply this how I apply all my other foundations, so that way I can get a good idea of how this works and how it will last throughout the day. So I'm gonna start with using my Becca primer, and I'm gonna do it on one half of the face. Maybe I'll just do this side where my pores are, and we'll see how it works. The color selection, it's not that good, especially in the, well, with me, right now it's winter, I'm relatively pale, so I need a lighter shade, but a lot of times I've noticed in drugstores, the lighter shades always have pink undertones. This was the lightest shade that started to look like it had a warm undertone. Obviously I couldn't swatch the stuff because I was in CVS, so I kind of just had to look at the bottles and hope for the best. So I ended up picking up 128 Warm Nude, obviously it is warm in the name, and this was the only one that started to have a yellow undertone to it. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the Becca primer on this half of the face where my pores are. We'll see how it fills in pores by itself, and then we'll see how it fills them in with a primer. My skin type, in case you're wondering, is normal. It's not dry, it's not oily, although the only place I tend to get oily is right here on my chin for some reason. But other than that, my skin is usually normal. That's what I would consider it as. So I'm shaking it, but I don't hear anything, so I'm assuming this has a thick consistency to it. And of course, we're going to have to do a few pumps here. Okay, that's one pump. I'm going to go with two. So that's two pumps. You can see it's starting to run down my hand a little bit, but it definitely has a thicker consistency. So let's start on the primed side. I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk sponge. I've dampened it and wrung it out. So let's see what we think of this. So yeah, it's too dark for my skin, but I will blend it down my neck. But like I said, unfortunately, there are not many good options. I'm gonna make sure I bring it down the neck. I'm gonna do one side of my face first. We'll see what we think. I tend to avoid my under eyes because I put concealer there, and I don't want a lot of product under my eyes. So yeah, it's too dark for me right now, but I'll put concealer on and see if we can kind of tone it down a little bit. This had a powder that went with it, but I didn't buy it because in my opinion, if a foundation is gonna be good, it should work whether I buy the matching powder or not. A lot of times we don't have money to buy all the matching products that come along with something. So I think you should be able to get a product and use it with either the stuff it comes with or the stuff you have at home, in my opinion. So that is half of my face. I'm looking in the mirror right now. It dries very quickly, like this is literally dry. It is not tacky. And you know what? It feels like there's nothing on your skin, which I'm very surprised. I thought this was gonna feel heavy because I had that thick consistency and it's 24-hour wear, full coverage. But yes, it dries very quickly, which I like. It is coming off on my fingers. I don't know if you can see that from me rubbing it. So we'll see how if it's transfer proof throughout the day. But it looks smooth on my skin. I'm not seeing anything at the moment that I'm disliking. Let me zoom you in to my face. You can kind of see how it looks. Turn down that. But yeah, I'm thinking it's looking pretty well. Pretty good, whatever. So I still have that much on my hand. I'm gonna put one more pump on just because I want to make sure I have enough for my whole face. And let's go ahead and bounce this on the unprimed side. We'll see if it lasts longer on the side that was primed, if they last the same. I like sponges because they have a tendency to soak up a little bit of the product. You don't have to worry about going too crazy usually. Yeah, this is definitely too dark for me, which sucks. I could probably get one of the lighter colors and maybe like blend them together or something like that. It's giving me a little tan, but I'm gonna look like a nutcase because it's not gonna match the rest of my body. But yeah, dries very quickly. Just making sure I have it on everywhere. So the, redness that I did have on my face, it did do a pretty good job covering it up. Now you can see I have two birthmarks, one right there and right there. They are still peeking through, which I like because I feel like it's still giving me a somewhat of a natural look because you can kind of see little freckles on my nose and whatnot peeking through. I'm sure this is buildable, but I do not want to put more on because I want to give this a fair shot of how it's going to wear. I don't want to, cake it all over my face and then later be like, oh my God, it looks cakey, it looks horrible, at the end of the day. This is what's good for my skin right now, so I'm not going to put on another coat. But yeah, it's totally dry. It almost feels like a powdery finish almost. That's how I would describe it. But it, blended just as well as it did on the primed side. This is the unprimed side. I think they look really similar. You cannot tell a difference that I even used primer on this side, so that's good that it appears to not make pores noticeable or anything like that. I have about this much left on my hand. I'm gonna try and blend this down my neck as much as possible. So my original first thoughts of this would be, it looks good on the skin right now. I'm loving how it dries really quickly and doesn't feel tacky. I'm gonna set it because I set all of my makeup and I wanna do exactly what I do with any other foundation so they, I can compare it and say that this is the routine that I do and it worked well. So yeah, it does not feel like you have a lot of foundation on your face, which I love. So anyway, guys, so far I'm liking it. The question is gonna be, how is it gonna last throughout the day? So while you guys are sitting here, I'm gonna go ahead and put some concealer on and we'll see how concealer blends over top of it. This is my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Obviously it looks very pale on me right now because this foundation is too dark. I like a bright under eye anyway. But let's try and lighten this up. We'll put a little on here, put it on our chin, and we'll try and lighten some of this up. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with the sponge with this side, and I'm gonna bounce in those highlighted areas. So far, it looks like the stuff is blending nicely. Let's blend out the concealer. But it appears to be blending fine. I do think it's picking up some of the product because you see how dark the tip of that is, and that concealer was pretty light. I don't know it. Do I notice it picking it up? So I do think it is transferring a bit onto this sponge. We got some white under eyes today. Let me try and fix that. Even though some of it like transferred onto the sponge, I don't see any blotchiness, at least that I'm aware of. So yeah, let's set the under eyes really quickly. And I'm gonna go in with some other Maybelline products to see how well it works. I'm using the Fit Me Loose Powder in Light. Actually, let's not use light because my eyes are already way too light. So I will just set it with the translucent pressed powder. I'm just gonna rub my sponge into it. I'm gonna go ahead and put some contouring on my cheeks and some blush. So let me go ahead and do that. Guys, so as you saw there, I put on just quick contour, some quick blush, a little bit of highlight, mascara, called it a day. I used some Wet n Wild setting spray. So what am I thinking? I'm looking in my mirror and you honestly can't really tell the difference between the primed and the unprimed side. They look pretty good. I think they blended the same. Overall, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Let me zoom you guys in. I'll show you a close-up of what my skin is looking like. So, I mean, you can kind of see pores. It looks fine around my nose. It's not grabbing on like any parts of my skin or anything like that. Like drops from that setting spray. Definitely, like I said, is not tacky whatsoever. But yeah, it's looking okay. Not bad at all. So guys, I will check in a little bit. I did a super quick makeup. It's 11:29. Right now I'm gonna go about my day, maybe do some shopping and whatnot. So when I get back from shopping, I will do a check-in, let you know how it's holding up, if it still looks the same as it does now, or if it looks differently. But yeah, so far it seems good. I'm not hating it. It looks good. I feel like the products that I use blended well over top of it. Obviously does not match me. Look at my face. I have to go out in public. Maybe I should get a turtleneck. But yeah, so overall pretty well. I mean, compared to the Maybelline, this one definitely feels a lot thicker on your face and it's not even as full coverage. So if this one lasts, you know, good, I would probably go with the new one if this one works out better. It is a little bit more pricey, but obviously if it's better, that kind of makes sense, you know? So yeah, that's it for now, guys, and I'll check in a little bit later. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I am popping back on to give you guys an update. It is 49 and I put this on around 11 o'clock. So it's almost, what, 4 hours I've had this on. So I have to say, Like I mentioned earlier, the only part on my face that typically gets oily is my chin, so it is looking a little shiny, but it's nothing too crazy. When I look in the mirror, it's not breaking apart or anything, it's just shiny. The rest of it all looks pretty good. It hasn't settled in any weird lines or anything like that. I've yet to find a foundation that doesn't start to melt around my nostril. Like, literally, I don't care what type of foundation it is, it always does it to me. So the day that doesn't happen, I will be blown away. But as of right now, the primed side versus the unprimed side are looking pretty identical. It hasn't faded anywhere on the unprimed side or this side. You know, my highlight is still pretty bright. Nothing is faded. Let me zoom you guys in really quick. So this is my skin close up. You know, like I said, my chin is getting shiny. But overall, not bad. So yeah, I don't really have any major complaints, guys. I'm pleasantly surprised, and if I had to pick between these two as of right now, it would be the new one. I think it just looks a little bit more natural on your skin, whereas this one, I had this one on yesterday, and the minute I got in my car, my mom was like, what foundation are you wearing? This lasts all day and it looks pretty decent, but you could totally tell I definitely had foundation on yesterday. So this one does look a little bit more natural. So that's where we're at right now. I don't have anything crazy to report. I did eat lunch. Obviously it didn't fade anywhere. I didn't eat like a burger or anything. I had a salad and spinach and artichoke dip. So I wasn't like putting, you know, something like a burger that it might have rubbed off, but everything is still intact, like I said. Nothing really comes off when I touch my face. So, and it's not feeling heavy. So anyway, I will check in one more time before I go to bed, and let's just hope it still looks like this. I'm not gonna oil, I'm not gonna blot my chin or repowder it because I want to see if this is as shiny as it gets or what as the day goes on. So anyway, guys, I will do one more check-in a little bit later. Hey guys, so I wanted to check in really quickly because my last check-in was like right around, I think 3 something or anyway, and I said I wasn't going to check in until bedtime, but I wanted to check in because I noticed it's getting shiny in a lot of places, which I thought was very strange because I have normal skin. And as I mentioned, my chin usually gets oily and shiny, which you can see it's super oily and shiny, but the other areas of my face are getting really shiny too. In here where my nostrils are, it's really shiny. It's getting really shiny on my forehead. So that's a little strange to me because I haven't really had any foundations do that before. I'll zoom in a little bit, guys. You can see how it's like shiny in here. You know, I put highlighter on right here, but like this isn't highlight in my, you know, forehead. My chin is super shiny. But with that being said, it's not breaking apart. So it is still staying put. But I just wanted to come on now, and what time is it? It's 5:30. So I wanted to come on now and just let you guys know how I thought that was kind of weird, how my face is getting really shiny. So I don't know what that's about because this is a seamless matte finish. So anyway, guys, that's another quick check-in. I will do my final check-in and my final impression in a little bit. Hey guys, it is 7 p.m. finally, so I'm doing my final check-in with this foundation. Don't mind how the color is so dark compared to the rest of my body. I have to say, I am completely shocked at how shiny my face is. Like, I don't get it. This literally says it's a matte foundation and my face is so shiny, which is so weird because I have normal skin, and the only thing that gets oily on me is my chin, which is already said a million times in this video. I don't know how well you guys can see, like if I turn my face, but my chin is so shiny, shinier than it normally is. My forehead has a shine to it. The only place I put highlighter was here and the tip of my nose, okay? But it's so strange to me. Now I will say, even though this is very shiny, the color has not gone anywhere. It doesn't appear to have faded anywhere. Although I don't tend to touch my face throughout the day, but now that it's getting really oily, can you see that? Do you see how shiny my finger is? Like, it literally wiped it off. So it's so oily that as the day goes on, if you touch your face, it's gonna come off like crazy. Let me zoom you guys in. Now, as the day has gone on and it's gotten shiny, like my pores and everything are so noticeable. Look where I wiped, I just took my finger like that and it wiped right off. Look at that. Like, this is strange. So the color seems to last for hours, which is great, but I don't care if I'm gonna look like a really shiny weirdo when I don't have oily skin to begin with. So I am just so confused. I was gonna come back on here and like blot, but I don't even see the point of that because you would probably have a major cake face with how shiny this has become. It's just so weird to me. So weird. I'm curious to see like what happens if I put a little dot to see how much it's oxidized throughout the day. Do you see? Look at the difference. That's a fresh one, and then that's my face. I did not put any contour down there. My contour is right here. So as the day went on, my face literally got more orange because when I originally put it on, I was like, oh, it doesn't look like it oxidized that much, but look, it's so like oily. Look, it like came right off right there. So weird, guys. So anyway, my final thought is if you have oily skin, you will hate this. It will look so shiny on your face. When I first put it on, the first half of the day, it was looking good. And I had high hopes for it because I was looking in the mirror and my face looked good. It looked great in the camera originally. The picture that I took earlier in the day, it looked great in pictures. But as the day goes on, it oxidizes even more and your face is extremely shiny, which I am not comprehending whatsoever since it's a matte foundation. The color lasted as long as you don't touch your face. If you're a person that like leans on your hand a lot and is always touching your face, it's gonna come off. So half of these claims I don't agree with. You know, it's just weird. Up to 24-hour wear, this would rub off if for some odd reason I wore it for 24 hours. Fade and transfer resistant, when you first put it on, it dries down really quick and it doesn't budge. But after a few hours, it starts getting shiny and oily and it comes right off if you rub your face. So if it stayed like it did the first 2 hours, I would have loved this foundation, but I don't know, guys. It's so weird. I originally was liking it more than the matte and poreless, which I love because I thought this looked better on the skin when I originally put it on. It dried down really quickly and it made my face look nice and it didn't feel heavy. As the day's going on, this one is way better. This one does not oxidize as much and it doesn't get shiny like this one. It's so strange to me. This one I use all the time for a drugstore foundation, so I was really excited about this, but I'm just baffled at how shiny my face got. So strange. So anyway, guys, I guess I would recommend this if you're going to be wearing foundation for a couple hours and you want it to look good. Other than that, I would not consider this a long wearing foundation at all. Couple hours, yes, your skin will look good, it dries down quick, but other than that, no, I would not use this for long wearing stuff. It would rub off so easily. So anyway, guys, I'm still on the hunt for a really great foundation for my wedding, so comment down below. Let me know if there's anything you guys recommend. I just bought, and I'm waiting for it to arrive, Dior Forever Foundation. I've heard really good things about that, so that's probably going to be the next foundation that I test out. I think I've only done reviews on drugstore foundation, so I'm excited to do this high-end one, and I'm really hoping I'm going to love that foundation because I have not had any luck finding a foundation new where I am in love with it. So anyway, guys, that's that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you tried this foundation? Did the same thing happen to you? Did it get really shiny and weird? So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thanks, bye.